Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Well, in this video, we're going to answer 5 question and answers.
Yeah, it's good to have a lot of information before you move to live in another country.
Yeah, you want to accumulate as much information. You can look at our videos, that's a source, there's other people. But also, I really want to forewarn you here. Don't trust what we say. We are giving our best to give you the right information, but always verify it. You hear so many different stories from different people. Just verify it and make sure there's a consistency in the answers that you're getting. That's probably the most important thing that you can do, not only in moving to Mexico or anything that you're doing research. Remember, we're just video creators and we live here for 12?
Almost 13 years.
Okay, and so this is our knowledge, what we have in living here for 13 years, and our research and different personal things that we have come up against. So
it's important to know all of that question. It's important to know all the research, how much and then where, and then, anything you want to know. It's good to ask a lot of questions of that and then research of that question you want to know.
Yeah, so let's get into this video. We're excited about this new direction that we are going in. We're offering you a time of a private consultation that will be formulated directly to your needs. And so it's a 50-minute consultation, and how simplified it is to set up an appointment. Remember that we have over 60 years of travel internationally information, and we want to share that with you. So in our private conversation, we will be able to develop a personal plan that's going to save you a lot of time, save you money, save you frustration, and move this process possibly of moving to Mexico or another country to simplify it. There's a lot to know when you move into another country. But if you want to jump ahead of the line, if you want to get, the first-hand information that I can give you directly to help you specifically for your need, this is a service that's going to really help you. So step in front of the line, sign up. Right now, we are only taking a limited amount of callers, and we want to offer each one of you the first opportunity to take advantage of this service. And I know it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money, and it's going to give you lots and lots of great information. What you'll need to do is down below, there's going to be a link. That's in the description area down below where I'm making this video. If you tap on that, there's going to be a link to another video. And in that video, I'm going to explain to you what this program is all about. What's the next question, Lori?
What's the next question?
Well, the next question is going to be, Tim wants to know about price down here. He's heard that things have gotten a lot more expensive in Mexico, and he's concerned about it because he's looking at retirement. Will his Social Security check be enough money to live on down here? Okay, let's look at price here. Well, let's go back 12 years ago when we first came here. 12 years ago, what was happening, for $1 US, you got 10 pesos, okay, for $1 US. Today, that same $1 US, you get 20 pesos, okay? So you get twice as many pesos to live on down here. So, as an example, if you go into a restaurant and you buy a meal, well, now let's say that meal costs you 100 pesos. That is $5 US. Not bad. 12 years ago, you went into that same restaurant and that meal cost you 100 pesos, but it actually cost you $10 for that meal. So today, in a way, it's cheaper to live down here because you're getting twice as many pesos for that $1 or any of the amount that you're going to exchange. So yes, things have gone up in price here, and rents have gone up, and everything. But in the case when you live down here like we have for so many years, we can see the way the peso changes. Now, the peso has been holding about 20 to 1, and that looks solid, but it doesn't always hold at that high number. So as a retiree, you have to be careful, because if it starts slipping down, let's say you get 12.5 pesos for $1, 12.5 pesos for $1. That same meal is going to cost you $8, okay? So you can see how things can change down here. It's down to 10 to 1, that's going to be $10. So I hope that isn't too complicated. Hey, look, if you have a question about that, please make a comment, and I'll see if I can clarify it a little bit better for you. Another question. People are curious about the mail service down here. How do we get our mail down here? Well, hopefully this isn't going to be too complicated, but we have a private mail service that typically everybody has. Now we pay a monthly fee of that. So we're looking at, it depends on the size of the box that you get and everything, but that's roughly about $30 a month for that. What they do is they give you an address in Laredo, Texas. So any mail that you want sent out, you would send it to that Laredo, Texas P.O. box or box that they're going to give you. It will look like a regular address. And so that's good if you want to have documents sent, or maybe you want to get your credit card, linked to that address, or your Social Security information. You can do that because it does show up as an address. Then what the service does, it then sends the mail down to us, and they put it in the box. So it's quite convenient for them to transport the mail. They're not sending it by the Mexican mail service. They're sending it private carrier through their company. The name of the company that we use is called iShop. And I'll post a link down below that will tell you how you can contact them. And you can look at their website and see how they do their services and what other services they have. As an example, they do have FedEx, and they do have other shipping ways of getting stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Did that answer your question?
Sounds like.
Well, Larry has a question here, and he wants to know, should he bring down his car into Mexico, or should he buy a car here? Well, there's actually going to be 3 scenarios on that. If you come down on the 180-day visa, then definitely you bring your own car. In fact, you can't even buy a car on a temporary visa like that. So the next factor would be, let's say you move up in visas and you get a visa that is called a temporal visa. Well, a temporal visa is good for 4 years. And if you choose to use that temporal visa, you then can take the option of driving here and living here up to 4 years. Then I would also bring my own car down here if that's the case, because you can drive that car legally here. That's what we did. If you decided then that you wanted to get a permanent visa, you'd have to take that car out of Mexico and sell it outside of Mexico. You can't sell a car in Mexico. That's a foreign plated car. That's illegal. So what you would do is you would then drive that car out of Mexico, and then you would sell it there. You come back into Mexico, and now you have qualified for a permanent visa. And in that permanent visa, now you are a resident of Mexico, and you do not have to renew that visa ever again. But you need to drive a Mexican plated car. So in review, because it may have been complicated, is that you come in with a 180-day visa, that's an entry visa, drive your own car. You have a temporary visa, and you qualify for that, again, drive your own car. If you then decide you want to stay longer in Mexico, over 4 years, then you get a permanent visa. You sell that car outside of Mexico, and you come here, back into Mexico, and you buy a car that is registered here in Mexico. I hope that simplifies things. If it hasn't, please leave a comment and I'll try to clarify it a little bit better for you. Thank you. Another question. Okay. Hey, thanks for asking the questions. We do get quite a bit of people that do get a lot of benefit by us answering these questions here for you. Somebody just asked, this morning it was, is it a good time to sell a home here in Mexico? Now remember, this is a time of the pandemic, and right now, in the last year, things have been closed down, mostly through Mexico. Last year at this time, all the beaches were closed, completely closed, hotels were completely closed, and it hadn't reopened yet. And because of that, a lot of Canadians, Americans, and foreigners have not traveled in here. So what that means to the real estate market is that the properties have not been selling. And so there's a lot of inventory, but a lot of people are just waiting. They're not panicking. They're waiting for this virus. Now, for selling a piece of property, it would be the same thing in January. You don't have to be down here if you want to sell your property here. You can just contact a real estate agent. They can set it all up for you, and they can do the whole transaction for you. So I hope that answers your question.
I guess so.
Yeah. Lori, Lucy wants to know about doctor expenses here. How expensive, what are we paying for doctor expenses?
Okay, what we pay for a visit of the doctor is about 500 peso to 700 peso. That it goes to $25 to 35 US$.
Yeah, and now that would be for a general practitioner. If you're going to see a specialist, then that probably is going to be about $35 to see them to $50 to see it. Let's say if you were going in and you needed some type of a surgery, or you needed something that was a little more in depth, so you want to talk to a specialist. And so that's the going rate right now. Lori, Sophia is asking about how do you protect ourselves eating safely here when you go to the market and you buy vegetables and fruits. What is the process you do?
Well, the process I do is I use salt and vinegar mixed with the water, and then I soak my vegetable, any vegetable, fruit or vegetable, anything there, I soak it about 3 to 5 minutes, and I take it out and I rinse it out and I leave until a little bit dry, and I put back in the bag and put in the refrigerator. That's how I protect it. So I think vinegar is to clean out all the insects, and salt is the same thing. It cleans the insect, and then what do you call that?
Well, there's a drop that you can get to add to the water. We don't remember the exact name of it, but I believe it's an iodine base, and you put a couple drops in there. Do you ever use the drops now?
Yeah, sometimes I use the drop, sometimes I use all of them.
Okay.
I use the drop and I use salt and vinegar.
Okay, so hey, if you know the answer to that, what the actual chemical is that you use to clean and sanitize vegetables, give us a comment down below. Let us know, because when you go in the store, you can see it on the shelf and you know it.
Yeah, if I see in a shelf, I know what is that, but and like this, I forget the name. if like this, I forget that name, so I don't know what to call that one.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, that's how we stay healthy here in Mexico. It seems to work.
Yeah, I've been doing it years and years, so it works.
It works. Okay, good. That answers that question. If you have any other questions, please ask.